we're talking about converting or writing fractions as decimals. You've all dealt with fractions. They look like that. You have a numerator and a denominator, right? Does everybody know which is which? The numerator is on top or bottom?
Top.
Top. And the denominator is on the bottom. There are two ways to convert fractions into decimals. The first way works every single time. So when you get into that testing situation and you freak out and you say, I can't remember, that looks like a really bad test score, doesn't it?
Yes.
So it's just like figuring our grades like we do every day. You can do it with long division. It works every single time, right? So, with long division, we're going to write the problem. We're going to skip 2 lines. So we have room for an answer line. You remember back in grade school when you learned to divide, they had you skip 2 lines? So you had room for your answer?
Mm-hmm.
And then you wrote this symbol. That's called a radical sign. You guys called it a division bar or something?
A house, basically.
Okay. If you want to use the house analogy, I tell my kids a stupid saying so they remember how to write it. The bottom is bad, so it got kicked out. I learned the house analogy too. So if the bottom number is bad and got kicked out of the house, where do I put that number, Brian?
In the house.
Why would I put it in the house?
Oh,
if
wait.
It got kicked out.
Out.
Yeah. So it goes on the outside. Then the top number is still in the house. It gets to stay safe and warm and dry from the storm. Step 3. You add a decimal point and at least 2 zeros. Add a decimal point and at least 2 zeros. Step 4, bring the decimal straight up. Before you even start, so you don't forget it. Nice and big so you can see it. So your grader can see it, right? Okay, here's the deal. We talked about long division in 3rd or 4th grade, then we talked about rounding in 4th or 5th grade, right? The thing is, some of those divisions never end, right?
Yeah.
So almost always at this grade level, the directions of your assignment are going to tell you round to the nearest 10th, round to the nearest 100th, right? So what you need to do at that point is go one place past the rounding they told you to do. So if it says 10th, I need to add 2 zeros. If it says hundredths, I need to add the 3rd, because you got to round backwards, right? So you need to go one place past. And then you know as soon as you get a number on top of all those zeros that you have there, you haven't put too many, you haven't put too few. You know the problem's done and you can just quit dividing. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
You go one place past how they define the rounding and the directions. Okay, so for here, we don't have rounding, so we're just going to do this. Step 5 is do the math. Round if necessary. How many quarters are in a dollar?
4.
Okay, a dollar ends way over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know there's 4 quarters in a dollar, but there's a big space up there. What do I put there, Brian?
Zeros.
A 0. Or you can do the 25 won't go into 1, 25 won't go into 10. I'll take a 0 or an X. If it's past the decimal point, I prefer the 0. There'll be a point where the X won't be accepted. But if you've been taught to put X's there, I will accept it. Okay, but you have to know, if I give you a multiple choice test and the X is up there and a 0 is, you still know how to choose the correct answer, right? Okay. Okay, so there's my answer, 0.04. So long division works every time, right? So now we're going to use the same example, and I'm going to show you a shortcut. Right, Keaton? Because we like mental math when we can get away with it, right? Yeah. Okay, so 1/25. Steps. Shortcut. Write the problem. Step 2. Multiply. Denominator. Up to a place value. Do you guys know what your place values are?
Yeah.
Tenths,
Oh, yeah.
hundreds, thousands, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens. Okay, so if you can multiply that bottom number up to a place value that's on that chart and reduce, it makes it a lot simpler. Okay. I said that wrong. Okay. $25 times 4 is 100, right? Okay. 1 times 4 is what? 4. You know that is a test number, right? What percent is that? Do you know? 4%. How do I write 4% as a decimal? 0.04. You move it 2 places to the left, right? The decimal point 2 places to the left. So if you can get it up to that place value, if I couldn't have gone to tens because, well, 25 times nothing is 10, right? But I could go to hundreds.
That'd be a bad decimal.
So rather than say reduce, I needed to say convert. Convert the percent to it. Convert the percent to a decimal by moving it 2 places to the left. Okay? Anybody have a question about the shortcut? Okay? Casey, we're done with the video.